Hey Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you could join me. I am sharing a layout that I created for the August 1st reveal for Stuck Sketches. So this is the sketch this month. Isn't that a great sketch with the two square pictures up the top there? And this is what I created based on that sketch. And you can see I pretty much stuck to the sketch this time. I have these two pictures of my boys. They were at a local baseball game. Our local team is the Flying Squirrels, and I knew I wanted to use red, black, white, and or cream and gray, and these those papers that I just put aside there, I have a file folder full of black and white scraps because I use black and white a lot, and you can always, those are sort of one of those tried and true colors that you can always use. So I chose to have a small black frame and used that newsprint paper there from Pebbles. So I just trimmed off the edge a 1/2 inch and another 1/2 inch here so that it would be framed by that black cardstock there. These pictures are, as I said earlier, of my boys. They were at a Flying Squirrels game. The Flying Squirrels are our local baseball team. They are a farm team for the Giants. My daughter and I were out of town at a swim meet, and so these are pictures that my husband sent me while they were at a game and spent an evening there. So there's the background, easy. And I knew I wanted to put some layers behind these pictures just as Laura had called for in the sketch. And so I have this gray that I thought provided a nice light background, and with the pure white, it popped the pictures off of that sort of ecru colored paper there. So I just go in and trim this down so that they fit tightly around the pictures, and then I want another layer, and I wanted a little bit of color on this layer, so I went for that red there from Lawn Fawn to offset the picture on the left hand side of Nutsy. He's the mascot for our Flying Squirrels. And the red on that picture there really sort of emphasizes the red of both the boys' shirts, even though that's on the opposite side. So I had fussy cut that with my scissors, and the not straight line was annoying me a little bit, so I had to go in and use my trimmer. So there's two paper layers, and then in the sketch, Laura has a tag sticking out of the left-hand side, and I decided to change that up a little bit because I went with this black and white paper, and I decided instead of the tag sticking out of the left-hand side that I was just going to notch it and make it a bit of a banner. And I did keep it kind of tight because I've got that tight black border around the edge of the layout. I thought by having too much black, it sort of detracted from the pictures, and your eye was just drawn to this dark black. And so I trimmed that down some, and it's really only just sticking out of the bottom, and then you'll see off of the side as I notch that. So I still had a little too much black hanging off of that side, so I just trimmed that off, and I used my scissors to give this that banner look there. And I really liked the way that that ended up. So I'll just trim off the excess on the right hand side, and that is the foundation there for my picture cluster up the top, and I will go in later and add some embellishments to that. So now I'm working on the bottom. Because it is a boy page and it's a little bit of rough and tumble, I decided that I was going to rip some paper, and I thought that that would be fun for the embellishment segment down the bottom there, but I ripped it a little too fat for what I wanted, and so just ripped it a little bit more. This is awfully brave of me. I've been ripping a lot of paper lately, but I do really like the look that it adds to the layout. And this is from that black and white supply that I had shown you that I had earlier, just some arrows from Bella Boulevard. The crisp white down the bottom sort of lightens up the bottom of the layout as well. And rifling through the black and white layers for some more bits to put down at the bottom. I found some stripes that I just wanted just a little teeny bit up the top of the layout, and then I liked it much better down the bottom. It softened that dark black layer a little bit. I had this cut apart from Ellie's Studio, and it says A Summer Story, and I thought that was kind of fun for the layout, but I couldn't make it work in the way that I had organized things, and so that ultimately gets tossed aside. And I wanted a little bit of black down the bottom because while I have that black border, I needed some additional weight, but I will end up putting that weight by using black letter stickers. I thought a label would be fun down the bottom there. I tried some of these freckled fawn labels that I'd gotten, but they weren't quite the right red, so I end up sticking those away. I have a fair number of labels in my collection. I tried this gray, and it didn't quite work for me, but it was along the lines of what I wanted. And I know I want these things, so I'm going to stick them down because I'm tired of them moving around on me while I'm trying to try out other embellishments, and it's easy enough to move things. So I'm committing to that and committing to this. It was too thin a piece to use with my ATG, so I just used my Martha Stewart glue pen. And I haven't quite decided on that, but I do decide that I'm going to use it, but that piece was too big to stick underneath, so I just cut off another little piece there that just butted right up to it rather than sticking it underneath. Then I thought I could use that extra there so that I could pull and tie the top and the bottom together, but again, I really wanted something darker. And I found this gray label, again from the Ellie Studio cut aparts, and that was fun to tuck in down the bottom. I really had this need to put something up the top there in those clusters, and I do ultimately find something, but it isn't any of the things that I initially start out with. So I tuck that in down here and commit to that. Still don't have the black that I'm looking for, but I'll find it eventually. And there we go. I knew I wanted some embellishments, and I know stars are perfect. They're an easy way to go. So I used these from Bella Boulevard. I was on a design team that we did a collab with Bella Boulevard, and I have 20 pages of this, or 15. I can't remember how many come in a blister pack of it, but I got the whole blister pack. So I have black stickers up the wazoo, or out the wazoo. So I decided boys was good, and then I wanted, my original plan had been to say boys weekend or boys night out, but I found a sticker in the sticker sheet that said weekend fun, and that made for a perfect title. So the title of this layout became Boys Weekend Fun. And while I liked that weekend fun that was on there, it needed a little bit of color to pop it out. So I end up going to some red cardstock you'll see in a little bit and just creating a little banner to put that on. These puffy stickers from Ellie's Studio, I really liked the hearts and the stars, and I thought they might complement the hearts and the stars that I had pulled out. But I don't actually believe I end up using a little star that I put in the center of the O for the title. So you can see there how that red really just pops the word phrase much better. I wanted the title centered a little bit better, and so for a weight balance, so I just shifted that so your eye is drawn from the star on the top right above the boys over to the star in boys, and then over to that dark black star on the right hand side, so it moves your eye across the page there. And you can see how I move that star into the O of boys just for a little play there. Commit to this and turn this down, anchor this down. And I still want a few more embellishments on the page just for fun. And these came in a Cocoa Daisy kit, and I love that little indicator tabby thing, but the red at the top just made it too big. So by sticking that in and putting another star on that as well, it sort of minimizes the weight of it there. I have some puffy stickers. I liked that little camera there from Amy Tan. There's that red star that I referred to earlier. It just sort of adds more of that red to the bottom down there. And then I have these stickers. They're planner stickers from Mambi, and I used a few of those just for a little decoration on the right-hand side on that newsprint there. And then some clear stickers from Simple Stories. I decided to use the words, one of the word phrases on that little tab that I stuck in there, and the word phrase says, living the good life, because they always seem to find something fun to do when Mia and I aren't around. What better way to spend a weekend evening than at a ball game? These two boys have been going to ball games together since Nicholas was about 6 months old. He went to his first baseball game. It was a Cubs game in the Baby Born. We lived in Chicago at the time, and Michael stuck him in the Baby Born, walked down the street, and took him to his first ball game, and they've been ball game buddies ever since. It's kind of a nice tradition for the two of them. So that is my take on the August 1st sketch. There's going to be some close-ups that follow in a little bit. There are some great chances at prizes. Laura always has a link in on the website, so don't forget that if you create an entry for the sketch to just link us up. I did want to add a little splash of color because, as I said earlier, this is sort of a boys layout, and I wanted a little bit of mess per se, and so I just added some silver and some red splash to that. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you are inspired to play along, and we would love to see your take on the sketch. Take care.